You're watching the Go Crying the Walk-In podcast. I'm Chef Cholo, and you already know. Today we are in a different setup. We're in a new spot. We're at a local business here on Long Island that's called Wine You Design. This is my brother we just met, Vincenzo. How you say, man?
Chilling, Vincenzo.
What's going on? See, that's how we do it, right? We are at a business here on Long Island that folks could come, set up some appointments, and they could come in here with 4 different times?
4 visits over the course of a year.
4 visits over the course of a year. You come through, you choose your grapes. Now, we have how many countries of origin?
So at least 5 or 6.
You like that, countries of origin.
Countries of origin.
You see how Chef Cholo did that, right?
3 continents. Grapes are coming from 3 continents.
3 continents. So let's hear it, Vincenzo. Where are the grapes coming from?
All right, so the primary space where we get our grapes from is California, right?
Exactly.
Coming out of California,
exactly.
So that's where we get a lot of our really high-end fall, September, October grapes for winemaking. Then in the southern hemisphere, in April and May, we're getting grapes from Chile, Argentina, and South Africa. So that covers our 3 continents.
Incredible.
And so many kinds of varieties of grapes.
So the folks come in. Now, you teach them about the grapes, or most people come in like with a little bit of knowledge of where they're going to want to get these grapes from and what they kind of want varietally?
All over the map. So some people know exactly what they want to do. They've been doing this already in their garage.
Oh, they're like practice.
They're just sick of doing it in the garage because it is a lot of work.
Yeah, I can imagine.
A lot of work. There's 40 hours of cleanup to do 1 hour of fun stuff. All right. So they come knowing what they want to do.
Okay.
What their end result is going to be. They have an idea.
So we come in the first time. Yep. We're going to choose our grapes. Now, that's a quick process, I guess, the first time. You ordered the grapes. Now, is there a class of people at one time, or you just do this on an individual basis, like me and my wife, or it could be a class of people?
So both ways. We allow private groups to come in and make their own barrels of wine. So a family of up to 10 people or a group of friends of up to 10 people can come make a barrel of wine.
Right on.
Okay, barrel of wine's 20 cases, split that 10 ways, however you like. Then we do classes for...
How many cases in a barrel of wine?
20 cases.
20 cases. Not bad.
Yeah. Then for those who are a little less sure about making a whole barrel of wine, because getting stuck with 20 cases of the same wine could make people a little worried.
Right on.
We do something called a community barrel. So you and your wife can come, 2 people, and you'll join a bunch of other couples.
Other folks.
And we'll make a bunch of wine together with some variety and make a barrel of this, a barrel of that. And at the end of the year, you'll go away with a case of whatever you want.
Right on. Now, earlier we were talking. You told me you were a marketing guy. Now, I don't know why. I just thought about this. You ever had a situation where, do company building, come in, team building, make the wine, everybody in the office, client appreciation?
Absolutely.
That kind of stuff happens here?
Yeah, absolutely.
That I think is really cool.
You're a guy that owns an insurance company or a wealth management company, and you want to send a bottle of wine to all your top clients. So you make a barrel with me with your office, your team building. Then at the end of the year, you get all these bottles. Now you send out all the bottles.
Gift it out.
So it has a lot of legs, depending on if you use it that way, it's got a lot of good legs.
See, I knew it. You told me you were a marketing guy. Yeah, I can dig it.
I can't say I figured it all out. Some of these things you got to figure out and take from here and take from there and put it together.
Now, what did you say? You ran clubs in Boston?
In Boston, yeah. There used to be some club in my college years.
Live music or mostly dancing DJ?
No, some live music venues. The popular places on Lansdowne Street.
Okay. That's where it happens, by Fenway.
18, 19, 20 years old. That got me into the marketing gig. That got me into a 10-year career of marketing.
So you never marketed for the alcohol industry?
No, never. Not at all. No, never. Well, I guess we did a little bit with Tito's towards the back end of my contract when I was with the firm, but really a small amount there. But really,
Tito's a monster.
Yeah, right? Didn't he?
A monster.
Yeah.
All right, anyway, so now they chose their grapes. They come back, and we're smashing grapes with our feet? No.
Sure. Look, I don't know if you can see the picture of
Lucy. You got the pit? Oh, yeah.
So
you had to have that sign, yeah.
Absolutely, because if I didn't have that sign, I'd be constantly answering the same question. Everybody's like, my favorite episode of Lucy is that one.
I like the candy, the bonbons.
The bonbons is the other, I think, most popular Lucy to bring up.
Yeah. My dad made me watch Lucy.
Equipment that is semi-automatic, let's say. So the equipment allows the guests to get their hands involved at whatever degree they want, but at the same time, it's a machine that's helping us process at speed.
But you're feeling it. The guest is feeling it.
You're feeling a real close and personal feeling and pride over the product.
Right on. And this is an all organic situation?
This is an all organic situation. It's an all natural situation. Organic is tied back to the land.
Okay.
And because I don't own any land,
you don't know about that.
Vineyard, right. It'll be hard for me to make claims like that.
Is there things like sulfites added to this wine? Because I'm hearing that a lot lately.
Yes,
sulfites.
It's a big question. It seems to be the biggest question in the wine world.
Yeah. Now I had Christmas Eve at my house. I had about 30 family over, and one of my younger cousins. She had this device, and her wine glass sat in it.
Yeah.
And it
removed
sulfites from her wine. Did you know about that? Have you ever heard about that?
I know that something exists.
But you could buy wine without sulfite if you want. It's bullshit, right?
I call it bullshit on it. I don't think.
She's a lovely girl. I didn't want to say anything, but I did feel like it was bullshit. I did feel like
because everybody is making such a big deal about sulfites. Obviously, there are opportunists.
There's
and
marketing.
They're going to make something to sell for that. So we only offer the most sulfite-free wine, okay? So we do keep a very low sulfite profile in our wine.
But it's important for the process, no?
It is. So what everybody needs to know, and some don't, is that sulfites occur naturally on all fruits.
Right.
It just happens to hold better on grapes because of the way the texture of the skin is. But then there's man-made sulfites added mostly to wines that are planned to be shipped all around the world.
Right.
You got to protect the wine to go on ships and to go through shipping zones.
It's got to make it places.
It's got to get places, and that's how the world's come. But you know what? In this place, I sell wine to people, for the most part, in no more than a 20, 30, 40-mile radius of this location. I don't need to worry about that. So I can give them wine in a much more natural state.
I love it.
And let them know that their shelf life on the wine is
not going to be forever.
5, 6, 7 years. My customers don't need 5 or 6, 7 years to drink 20 cases of wine. So it's, as long as they know what their shelf life is, they're good.
All right, so we're here. We smashed the grapes. We added yeast, I guess, sugar.
No sugar. We're getting rid of sugar and turning it into alcohol.
Thank you, because I'm not that smart.
Visit 1, you crush grapes. Visit 2, exactly 7 days later, you use a wine press. The most iconic piece of equipment in the wine industry is the wine press with the basket with the wooden slats. And then we're going to squeeze the now alcohol juice away from the grapes and down a spout, and we're going to try our very young vintage of wine. At that point is when we're going to leave the wine for months and months at a time to spend time in one of these guys, which is a really other important part of the winemaking process.
Oak barrel.
Oh, huge. I mean, that's really doing a lot of the heavy lifting on what we're tasting and smelling in these glasses.
Which is wonderful, by the way.
Thank you. Cheers to that.
Yes, sir.
We needed to start off with that. So when the guys who taught me how to make wine, my father, my uncles, and whatnot, were making wine in their garages all over New York, the cumbersome weight of barrels just wasn't conducive to how they were doing things. So they would use glass carboys, 5-gallon jugs, right?
Like you'd see those water bottles.
In fact, some of them use the plastic water bottles.
That's what I would think. Shouldn't do that.
The glass is what you should use.
Shouldn't do it.
But you weren't getting the flavor of the barrel, and that's where they were missing out. So on top of getting hit over the head with having to go to Canarsie and buy the grapes, and having to clean all of your shit, and having to make everything ready, it was a lot of work, like I was saying, to get to the part where you're actually processing it. And then you're not even getting the best of the best because you're not putting it in oak.
Not even good juice.
And you're not aging it for a year. What my father would make in September, he was drinking almost by Thanksgiving, Christmas. So we also didn't wait very long. So what we're giving everybody who comes to make wine here is a little bit of the patience, because you can't just come in here whenever you want and steal your wine. Like there's a process. So we're making them
need it now.
No, we don't do that.
No.
So you're waiting a year to get your wine. It's staying in here for a year and getting better and tasting better. And so at the end of the day, at the end of the year, and then years after that, only then do they realize, wow, that was awesome. So it's a long play.
It takes a long. I mean, all people. Let's just figure. My father, he tortured himself for fun. You know what I mean? So it didn't matter. It was a different generation.
Agreed, 100%.
Different generation.
So, but what I will say is that this generation, the younger generation, our generation, is trying to keep in touch with what our dads and our ancestors did, without having to do without having to do all the work. And it has to be better.
Tradition is life. I mean, I always say everything's root beer. You know what I mean? It all comes back to what you remembered as a kid. You know what I mean? And that's what I think life is.
But we need to tweak it for how we do things today.
Especially if you want to make a business out of it.
You work a lot of hours, right? I work a lot of hours.
Unfortunately, yes.
I don't have hobbies outside of my, but thank God my business is my hobby.
Is your hobby,
right? So people who want to have this hobby, to do it at home doesn't really work with our lifestyles anymore. We're working too much.
You're right.
So thankfully, thanks for the support of everybody.
All right, so you get it in the barrel.
Okay.
How many times do they call while it's, they want to come down and look at it?
Come down,
Can we come down?
Rub it? Yeah.
Can we just come, so they come, year goes by. There must be a big thing after a year.
6 months goes by and they get a mid-season tasting. So
They can come in and get a sip.
Taste at the barrel, a little sip. A couple of things.
How do you get it out of here?
There's a little, basically like a glass straw. It's called a wine thief.
Okay.
Like a glass straw, you put it down, you put your finger on it so that
Pull it up.
this
Out of that hole right
out
there.
Out of that bung hole. You
That's
get
a
the wine in
breather.
there. Everybody gets about an ounce or two out of it.
It's always a bung hole, and a keg of beer too. Same
Keg
thing.
of beer too.
Bung
The
hole.
breather is called an airlock. It allows the barrel to breathe out any CO2, any gas that it wants to release, but it does not allow oxygen to go in and oxidize the
Now
wine.
the wood is alive, no, but it does. It
breathes.
It breathes.
The wood does also breathe. The wood is permeable, it is breathable, and so there's a process of micro-oxygenation happening in the wood. So the wood is so much more important than, say, glass, because it is allowing this little bit of
There's a whole thing happening.
There's a whole thing happening.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So
But
that's
not
the
plastic.
6-month tasting. Don't do plastic.
It's like prison. Plastic's like prison.
Yeah, that's prison wine. I think there's a word.
Plastic bag.
So that's the 6-month tasting, and then at the year mark
Okay.
is when they're going to bottle their wine. Physically, they're going to work the bottling
No,
line.
is that a machine too?
That's a series of machines.
That's a series of machines.
A gravity-fed line that goes into an 8-spout bottle filler. Then there's a machine that inserts the cork into the bottle, and then there's a heat gun machine, basically, that shrinks a capsule onto the neck, and then there's a labeling machine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now you're producing labels here? Oh no, that they go to a printer. They do
So I
that.
don't really want to be in the printing business. We do offer labels as part of the experience.
Would they come here with the bottle already labeled?
No.
What if they want it like etched?
You can do etchings. That's also an outside service.
After the wine's in the bottle.
After the wine's in the bottle, or before the wine's in the bottle. If they're large format bottles, there are some bottles that are huge.
So you could get a big, whatever, Jeroboam, whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
you like that? I got that Jeroboam.
You got the lingo.
Sometimes chefs know a little bit.
Some of my wedding barrels. Let's say they're a lot of what's the word for when you're getting married? Engagements are a year long. Some engagements are a year long, and so they can get
That's
engaged.
cool.
They can start the winemaking process, bottle the wine before the wedding, and then one of the bottles, they'll make a big ass bottle like this. They'll etch it, and that'll be.
That's a great thing. You mind if I put your card at Crest Hollow? Would you do that?
We were talking about how the Crest Hollow was going to buy me and put the entire
No, that's
winery
done.
behind the Crest Hollow.
Oh, this is, well, I've already got 100 pounds of shit in a 20-pound bag as it is over there.
Coming here and
That's
20%.
Whatever you
beautiful.
say, Paul.
Let's see that, Paul. Come over here, please.
Absolutely.
What is that,
Oh, it's nectar of the gods. What are you kidding me?
Nectar of the gods.
It's all juice, baby. It's all juice, Marty.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
I love that Torah thing you jammed
it's
up
great.
there.
Oh,
That's what
It's hot.
instead of
It's
business
hot.
cards, that's what I'm going to be giving you to put.
This
Yeah, that's hot, man.
This has saved my
Those you make those.
I make them. They have all my information on it, and that's a washable and reusable. It's called a drip
a
stop.
drip stop.
Yep. And so
saved my life. You know how many times I dribble on the tablecloth?
The tablecloth. The tablecloth. My wife wants to murder me.
shit. You know how much money I could save restaurant and the laundering services for that?
Paul, I had to start drinking scotch. You know.
I got a vodka clear.
Right. That's why everybody switched to bourbon.
All right, so we'll just try and roll back. Now, so people are leaving here with their bottles of wine.
Yep.
Now, what I was going to ask, is there like a big return? Like, do they coming back? Like, have you had people make it this year and then finish it all up and then come right back?
So, remember when I told you, kind of how I did this when I was a kid? I did it with
Right.
my dad. We didn't just do it one year. This was every year.
You did it every
Every
year.
year we make wine. Every year we make sauce. Every year we have our garden. Every year right?
The sauce, like John Giamondo's family, my friend John Giamondo, yeah.
So you might be surprised to know that not 90%, but I can comfortably say more than 75% of these barrel customers are repeat year over year. I can count on their
Now
business every year.
now that
Because
is
that's
tight.
important to them. Yeah.
Yeah, that is really cool.
Yeah. It's as important to them as it is to me.
Right.
I don't make any sales calls. They call me. When are the grapes coming, Vin? I didn't hear from you yet. They're scared.
They're
they
on
don't
it.
want to get left out. They're on me.
it, man.
They're on me to spend their money with me because they want to make sure that they don't get left out on the year because it's that important to them to make their homemade wine. really important.
I'm trying to wrap my head around this whole thing. Now, you ever think about you ever think about like bourbon or scotch,
So
like the next
distillery
thing?
I've thought about it. There isn't as much of a
More of an aging
base,
process.
traditional base of people that are doing
Looking
that.
for that,
Wine
right.
was a thing for
Yeah,
them.
wine's huge.
And I think with bourbon, we're probably getting into that, and maybe there's people who do that, but I think that would be a once and done.
It would take a couple of years to age.
It might actually take a couple of years, and it would be a one and done type thing.
Yeah.
Hey, I did it. I made a barrel of bourbon.
I'm not doing that
I'm not doing it again.
I have 20 cases of bourbon.
But every year they got to make their wine, and they got to make their sauce, and they got to go hunting, and it's that group of people that are doing that.
Yeah. Well, listen, Vincenzo, this has been an awesome interview, man. I really love your whole vibe, man. Thank you for inviting us in here. And thank you for being a friend to the American Culinary Federation.
Absolutely.
And to the Hospitality News Magazine. I really appreciate
It's my
that.
pleasure to be involved.
All right, peace. Listen, I'm Chef Cholo. You already know.